What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Toner Scorp, with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
And you may be watching and you're like, something looks different. There's two different things that look different. One, you can now see our faces, or Deception's metaphorical face, that I believe he looks like.
That's definitely my face.
Yeah, it's 100% Deception. But also, we're upgrading the podcast a little bit. We've got cams, kind of, and we got 1.5 cams, and then we have a new overlay for us to experience with the podcast, making a good upgrade. We've got chat down below, as you can say. I accidentally said ho instead of hi, and then we've got my screen in the top of it so that you guys can see what we're looking at.
Yeah. This works out great.
Yeah, and it looks cool, dude. It looks cool too. We got it just makes it so much cooler and more inviting and less boring and I don't know. It's cool. So, we've got some stuff to talk about today. I'm going to try to not look at the camera, but your girl, I got to look at my other screen sometimes too. So, let me just do what I got to do.
Podcast, you can do whatever.
Yeah, true. So talking about what we want to talk about today, excuse me, let me just pull up good old CDL intel, because we gotta do mate. Oh, you know what else got announced too that I think we should talk about? Streamer University Year 2. I think we should talk about that, but so let's scroll, shall we?
Yeah, we didn't even get to do minor predictions because we talked about MW4
yeah, we did.
You know.
Sometimes that's how it be. Where are we? This is Saturday.
When you only have an hour to cover stuff, it's like
you gotta make do with what we got, and we're yappers, so sometimes it doesn't go the way planned. Okay, so minor 2, oh my god, this actually might not work. Hold on. There we go. Minor 2 bracket, taking a look.
there we go.
Yeah, I fixed it. Don't worry. Your girl's on it.
Okay.
So minor 2 bracket we're looking at here. We had the bracket plan, Falcons versus Roy Ravens, then Koi versus Cloud9, Heretics versus Surge, G2 versus Breach, and then we had Optic, Gentlemate's Phase, LA Thieves automatically making it, and because they're top 4 on the leaderboards.
It's no surprise. There's absolutely nothing anybody can do to get these 4 teams out of the top 4. There are certain
pretty
teams
hard.
That will hit a streak every now and then, but you're not getting these 4 teams out of the top 4.
Absolutely not. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a recap. We got a couple other topics today, so I think we're gonna kind of scoot through this a little bit, just because it's old news at this point. But Joe Deceives did get picked up.
It's just a minor event. It's just whatever. The minor events are cool, but they're not land. So
yeah, true. So we've got Joe Deceives getting picked up for Gentlemates in place of Neptune.
Yeah, that was a crazy pick,
especially right before the minor 2.
Well, and right after they also made that trade with G2, and it's like Gentlemates was just trying to switch everything up apparently.
Yeah.
I honestly did not even expect anything to happen. I really thought that Gentlemates would stick together, but apparently stuff was not working out very well, as you could probably tell if you were looking at Twitter around the time that this happened. But yeah, this was crazy because I honestly thought for sure that Joe Deceives was going to be the guy at Toronto. I thought for sure he was I thought he was the franchise player now. Obviously they've had Kleenex and Insight for a long time, but Joe Deceives showed up this season and was the star. But he gets shipped off to Gentlemates now. It's okay.
Yeah. So I mean that was a big
also,
change.
Toronto are doing everything in their power to not get rid of Insight, which I think is the thing that they need to do the most. But
I mean, I think Joe DeCease was a great guy to build a roster around, and they should have just kind of
I
kept
mean, yeah,
him. I mean, he's a breakout star, especially like even from his first season on LA Thieves. Like he just started hot, and he may have had like some ups and downs, but he's on something right now, and they just really need to capitalize on it. But they ended up picking Abe up in replacement of Joe DeCease, which I don't
yeah,
really know
that's
this
so
dude, so
funny because like there was like before this split started, there was the whole thing of like the Minnesota, the G2 Minnesota and Gentleman H trade that happened, and then like there was a rumor that Abe was going to Koi anyway,
mhm.
and then all of a sudden it just didn't happen. Like it was just like, oh, he's going, and then last second it was like, nope, never mind. And now they were like, okay, maybe we should have just put him in anyway.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I think that they were kind of they're making some questionable decisions, which is definitely impacting the way that they're performing in the league right now. Like
That's
they
that's
definitely,
par for the course for Toronto Koi.
yeah,
That's like all they've done in their time in the CDL.
yeah. Hold on, I need to fix the chat. I need to change the text. Hold on. Um, I didn't realize how the black
That
looked on
is
the back.
absolutely par for the course for Toronto.
Yeah.
They
I mean, they were just such a
they
dominant team. Like you remember, like they used to be like that team, and now they're not. They are the opposite actually, and so
they've just
it's
had so
difficult to
many
see.
stints of like they can't ever get a consistently good team. Like they
No,
always have teams that are competitive, and like they have teams that have won events, but it's just like they just can't ever keep a consistent team. Like I don't know
no.
what's going on over there with like the management or like what kind of things are going on behind closed doors, but like they can't get it together and put together a full season of consistency. Like the only time they've kind of done it was like MW2, but like even then it was like they were getting beaten by other teams.
Mhm. Which is just like, come on, you know.
And that was also the year that they went into champs grand finals against New York, and New York like 4-0'd them.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was when Scrap was talking all that trash, and then he just got swept.
Yeah.
It's the most dominant grand finals ever, I think.
Uh, I honestly don't remember, to be honest. That those years were kind of a blur for me, but I'm gonna take your word on it. I'm gonna take your word on it. Um, so we had starting off Friday, we had the Falcons versus the Royal Ravens. Falcons took
Oh
the
yeah,
W on that one. Not too surprised with
it
the
was
Ravens
closer
being
than
on
I
the end.
thought it was gonna be.
That is true.
Ravens look pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, they look
That is
pretty
true.
good.
But definitely not super surprised.
That Standy pickup, man. Look at what's happening. Ravens picked up Standy late in the season. It's the same thing that Minnesota did in Cold War. Like some about Standy when it comes down to it late in the season, he turns up.
Yeah, go
He must be
Standy.
like a late bloomer or something because he like
Late
starts
bloomer
out.
is a wild statement.
Dude, he has to. Dude, he has to be because like
Uh,
the last couple years, he was getting dropped from teams early because he was bad. And then like the end of the season comes up and he's like all of a sudden like one of the best players in the game. Like I don't know if he just takes longer to get it down or what, but
I don't know. I think maybe he needs more time to like adjust to the game or something, um, than normal
because I
players.
remember like he was trying to scrim to be on a pro team at the start of I don't remember if it was this game or BO6, but he had like a game of hardpoint where he had like 3 kills. Like
Oh my God. Ugh. But I mean, 3 kills is wild, actually. Um,
yeah.
so I mean, Falcons won 3-2. Xnid definitely stood out in this series. I'm so glad that he's still on the roster. I mean, I know there's been rumors of
Yeah,
trying to
dude,
take
I
him
thought
off
it
or
was
not, but
criminal that they were thinking about dropping him and Pred, dude. I think it was absolutely criminal.
yeah. But I'm glad they decided to
Because
keep
like
him.
it's like ever since that rumor, him and Pred have been by far the best 2 players on this team.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So looking at Cloud9 versus, well, they just kind of like posted it. Cloud9 versus Koi. It was 3-0
Yeah, it
Koi.
was.
So it looks
Yeah,
like their
I
new
mean,
roster changes, beating the worst team in the league, which is good. Um,
It's not asking much, dude.
No, it's not. But you know, you got to start somewhere, and they're starting at the I don't know where, but Kip's kind of taking the
Honestly, like
MVP on
I
this
feel
one.
like at this point, I feel like at this point, if me, you, Hugs, and like Wyatt played against Cloud9, we probably could beat them.
Probably. I mean, putting putting someone that barely plays COD in there is actually, you know what? Yeah, they're just so bad. They're just so bad, and I
They
don't
just
know what
Cloud9
they
is just I don't know what's going on with
they
them,
need to
dude.
like pull someone up from challengers or something. They need to do something, or switch something out. They should have picked up
It's
someone
basically
else.
ever since they because you remember at the start of BO6 they basically were running it back with the subliner squad that
They
won champs,
should
except
have.
no Hydra, and they had Priesta instead of Hydra, which Priesta is a good player.
They
And
honestly should
I
have.
was kind of confident in them like being pretty good, and they just they were terrible. And then they ended up they had so many roster changes in BO6 and completely flipped the roster around, and like now they're cycling between challengers players and can't get anything going. I'm like, dude, what happened over there?
I don't know, man. They made too many changes, and it's the saying. Sometimes the saying it does ring true. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that roster was not broke. I mean, they just come off of champs. They were good. I don't know if it was a management thing. I don't know if it's the players that wanted to leave or the org that
Honestly,
wanted them to
part of
leave.
me
But
feels like it might be management related because like they were like there was really like not that many problems when they were the subliners and they were under like Sandbox or whoever they had
yeah, so I think it might
as
have
their
been like they
management
just didn't
before.
want to be under Cloud9, which is totally fair. But I mean, it could have been like a money issue. Like maybe Cloud9 didn't have the money to kind of give them what they
I mean
wanted
that
as
is
far as
entirely plausible considering Cloud9 I believe pays everybody like
the
the minimum.
minimum. Yeah, they do. They do play everyone the minimum. So next up we had Heretics versus Surge, and the Heretics get eliminated. I'm actually kind of like I'm a little shocked by this 3-0. I'm not gonna lie. Heretics are definitely not the type of team that I would think would go out 3-0. Um, Especially against Surge. I mean, like Surge, they have their moments where they're good and when they're having a good time, but and then sometimes it's not. So I'm just it's
Oh man, sir, I don't know. Like the thing about Heretics that I thought was really weird is they did make a roster change prior to the minor event, which is kind of I don't really understand why that happened. I mean, I know they weren't doing that well, but it's like I feel like this is one of those things where like kind of like what we talked about with like why we felt like Gentlemates. It was weird they were making a change. It's like I feel like teams are just like allergic to sticking together for more than like a couple majors anymore. Like I totally understand the whole thing of like you got to try to find the best team possible to be able to get reps and be as good as possible, but like I feel like some teams don't give themselves enough of a chance.
that's true. I don't know because like
Like
it,
they hit a slump and their first thought is like we got to make a
we
change
got to make
now.
a roster change. But at the same time, like I mean, you look at earlier COD teams, and I feel like the chemistry on those teams is a lot better because they stayed together
Yeah.
longer. I mean, you look at a team like Optic, for example, like those teams tend to stay together for more than just a few months, and it is proving beneficial. I mean, they won back-to-back champs with almost the same roster, just minus like
Well,
one.
that was the thing about the pro teams is like back then when when you had like the same like 10 or 12 like top teams like we do in the CDL, but they were all mixed up with amateurs still. It was still like you wouldn't really see the top like 6 to 8 teams like switching players every event. Like it was if they had something working and they were finishing top 6 or top 8 every event, they were like, "Okay, we just need to improve. We just need to stick with it and like just get a little bit better so we can try to
Mm,
win." Um it wasn't really until like the CWL that we saw like a whole lot of roster mania stuff happening all the time. But that was mainly because teams were in the league and they wanted better shots at doing stuff in the league, and it's like They were more prone to switch players out because they just wanted to have a better shot in an actual league. Um, but I don't know. It's just I just feel like today that teams just don't give themselves enough of a chance. Like they just the second that like they're starting to like fall off a little bit, they're like, okay, we gotta fix something here, and the first fix is make a change. Apparently,
Yeah. So, moving on, we had Rocker versus Breach. And honestly, Breach has been doing like I know they lost 3-1, but they've been doing a lot better than they have. I feel like especially like last weekend I saw some good matches out of them. Like not this past weekend, but the weekend before the major, I saw some better matches out of them
yeah.
than previously. Yeah, 3-1. Um not a great performance, but um I'm not shocked. I think the addition
It was
of
against the new
TJ and
G2, so
Afro,
it's like, yeah,
yeah. I think this roster has potential. I think they just need to kind of stick it out a little bit. Maybe even take it to next year, depending. But they definitely should finish out the year together because I think they can make some good things happen. And Tej, I think he really like we talked about this before, but really kind of needs to prove himself here in this next season just to kind of see what he can make happen.
yeah. I mean, Tej is like, I feel like this may be the last destination for Tej if it doesn't work out. But we'll see.
Yeah. So this is after day one. This is what the bracket was looking like.
Yep.
Optic versus Falcons coming up. Gentlemates versus Koi. Phage versus Surge. And Thieves versus G2. Um,
How many times have we seen Optic versus Falcons? I
so
feel
many
like it's
times.
like
So
every
many
event they
times.
play
I
against
feel like
each
they
other.
play each other a lot. An unhealthy amount, I think, at this point. Um,
I feel
same
like
thing
we've
with
seen
like.
all. I feel like Optic Falcons is like maybe the most
Can
common.
we get some stats on that? What teams have played against each other
We
the
need to see
most?
like what teams have matched up with each other
Yeah.
most because I feel like Optic and Falcons are up there.
Yeah. I agree. It's got to be a lot. Someone get the numbers on that one for me, please. So going into Saturday, um, we had Koi versus Gentlemates. Gentlemates took 3-0. Estriel taking the 1.11
I
overall
ain't gonna
season
lie,
series.
this
KD on that one.
I was a little high on Gentlemates after this. I was like, wait a minute, they might have cooked something here because this is the first time I saw them. This is the first time in a little bit that I've seen them, and I was like, wait, they're actually good, bruh. Like this is the first time in probably since like Major 2 that I was like, wait, they might be a little dominant again. Like they might be looking good. Um, I mean, it was an awesome like it was an awesome series because we get Gentlemates Koi right after the trade that they made between each other. Um, but yeah, they definitely handled business with Koi, and at least on the surface, Gentlemates looked like they were really good. Um, you'll see in a bit that it didn't really fare super well for them like after this match, but I I still have a little bit of confidence in this Gentlemates team. Like I definitely think that their team composition, like it definitely could be good
Mhm.
because they have kind of paired a lot of guys now that are like really good at BO7. So
That is true. Yep. Um, moving on to our most played matchup. I think they just do this scripting wise to get Brad to play against his past winning team. I think that just might be the
dude, that's
case.
what I'm saying, dude. Like
Uh,
it feels like ever since Pred left Optic, it's like always Optic Falcons at some point.
Yeah. Sorry, that was just next up in the line. I had to bring it up. I think it's scripted. I think that they do this on purpose. They put him in the but I just think it's on purpose. I may be wrong, but I don't think I am.
I don't know, man.
I don't think I am. You may be able to tell me I am, but I'm not. I won't believe you.
I don't know, bro.
So moving on to Thieves versus G2, another 3-0. We've been seeing a lot of 3-0s, which I don't know how I feel about. Like I like it when there's a little bit of 3-2,
Yeah,
3-1,
we're.
but
I don't know if it's late. It's because it's getting late in the season, or because like some changes have like made some teams better and some teams worse. But I feel like we're starting to see a lot more disparity between like
Yeah.
the good teams and the
Like
bad
I think
teams,
we
especially like the top four teams. Like
mhm.
the top four teams are very commonly like 3-1ing or 3-0ing like every other team.
Yeah, I think the thing is like I just remember it not being like I don't know. I just remember earlier in the beginning of the season we were
Up
talking
till like
about.
I would say like major two, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
there's
it's pretty
like a
even.
lot
Like
of
I felt
competition
like
here.
pretty much every match we watched there was some
Yeah, because you had
balance
like
to it.
even the top four teams were having like their struggles. Like every one
Yeah.
of the top four teams had a little bit of a struggle at some
Mhm.
point.
Agreed.
So it was like okay, like maybe just about anybody could win a major. It's like I mean it looked like we had a lot of good competition, but it's like ever since major two, going into the major three split, it's just slowly like the scales have tipped toward the top four teams.
Yeah. They're just it's so clear and cut right now that if any other team other than those four win champs, I'm going to be shocked. Like genuinely shocked. Like
I mean,
unfathomably shocked.
the only two teams that I would tell you that I think would stand a chance at winning champs that aren't the top four are Koi and G2, and the only
Yeah.
reason why is because they both have players that were on the top four teams at one point this year.
Yep. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm on you with that one. Um so going to Falcons versus Optic. Not shocked here either with the 3-0. Mercury's popping up on this one. Um,
Yeah, Merc was going crazy. Like Merc was going crazy. Shotzi dominated in the S&D. I think he had the fastest ace of the season.
mm,
Uh, in S&D, it was really quick. Um, yeah, Optic they just made quick work of them. Like we've said, it's like Optic very rarely lose the best of five, dude. Like
yeah, yeah.
they're like they strike trouble in best of sevens, but in best of fives they're lethal, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then we move on to FaZe versus Surge. FaZe take the W there, 3-2. Abuza leading the
Dude, that
way.
almost they almost
I'm
lost it, dude. It was close.
Surge is kind of like the thorn in FaZe's side. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
that's just been, or they've proven time and time again that they can step up to FaZe or step to them at least. Which is good to see. I mean, I think
I mean, they beat
Surge is
FaZe
definitely another
when FaZe was
contender.
super dominant in Cold War. So
Yeah, I don't think Surge would win champs, but I would not be shocked if they overtook one of the top four teams for a top four, top three finish. Maybe even grand finals. I just don't think
I
they
feel
have
like
the depth to win.
if they can make top eight and make champs, I definitely would be a little bit worried about them.
Yeah. I would be worried, but I don't realistically think that they have like the depth and the stamina to take home a dub on in a champs format.
I mean, yeah, they just just like what happened in this series, they just couldn't finish it off. It's like
Yeah.
um, that's been the common thing about Surge this season is like they'll have some good series where they look really good and then they just fall completely flat toward the end.
Now this game, this hard
Dude,
point.
that was an
Oh
insane
my
comeback,
god.
dude.
Oh my god.
That was an insane
114 to
comeback.
7 to a 2020 to not 2024. Jesus Christ. 244 to 250. That is
Well, and it was
actually
even
crazy.
crazier than that. FaZe had like 230, 240 for the last like two or three hills,
Mhm.
and Thieves just fought right back.
It is
That was a great
crazy.
hard point.
Yeah. I mean, they beat Fate. Like Thieves beat FaZe 3-0, which honestly like I am excited to see this energy from them.
Thieves are looking really good, man.
They
It's
are.
like it's kind of funny. They're kind of doing this year what they wanted to do last year, where
Mhm.
like Scrap and Hydra were just talking about like, oh yeah, we're gonna win like every event, and I mean, they've won two majors and a minor now, so
Yep.
they're a little late on their promise, but they're delivering this season
Oh,
for sure.
yeah, 100%. They definitely are, which is good to see. Happy for them on that 3-0 win. Then we got Optic versus Gentlemates.
Oh yeah, the 100 Point Club, man. We always love when the 100 Point Club song plays, and Got one against Genemates.
So Genemates get eliminated by Optic Texas. We're not super shocked by that. We got
Yeah, I
Optic.
mean, it's like I said, I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock in them getting 3-0'd by Optic. I mean, I
No.
definitely I still have confidence in this Gentlemates team, especially because it's early. They literally just made a change before this event, so
Yeah.
I would not count them out. But it definitely was. It was kind of good that we, as Optic, got Gentlemates in
Yeah.
that series because I was pretty confident we were going to beat them after they just made a change and they were still working the kinks out a
Yeah.
little bit.
They're still finding their
Um,
flow. I definitely agree with you. I don't think they should be counted out, but um as a team, but with the recent changes, I do think that it's gonna take them
well, and
a couple weeks
they'll
to
have
get.
plenty of time because
Yeah.
after Major Four, there's like a month till champs. There's like 3 weeks or a month or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
that's
So
right. That's plenty of time for them to do what they gotta do to get right.
yeah, we saw what Optic did last season.
So then we got a finals of Optic versus Thieves, and Thieves 3-0 Optic. Like, oh, 3-2, and then they won.
Yeah, they were up 3-0 and then Optic brought it back. It
Yeah,
was looking
four
like
two.
it was looking scary. I was like, is Optic gonna get swept here? And then they ended up pulling it back a little bit. Got back to 3-2, but then Thieves took over
Hmm.
in Game 6.
Yeah.
Just another Optic Finals second place as per usual, and BO7 apparently.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, the thing is like it's hard to even say like what Optic should even do because honestly, I feel like there's so many like little minuscule things that they could do to be a little bit better. They definitely can get over the hump. It's just like it feels really bad when you're watching them get second all the time.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what I don't like I said, like I don't watch enough. I don't know enough. I'm not knowledged enough on Call of Duty to that level to where like I'm going to understand what changes they need to be made. So I'm not going to sit here and get on a soapbox and be like they need to do
Yeah.
this, whatever. But cuz it might not even be like an actual skill thing. It might just be like a mental block. Like they might just be on this mental block like we can never get past second place. We can never win. We can never win. We can only win champs. They might just have this mental block that like they don't even realize they need to know about. They might just need to go to like a group therapy session and be like talk with a therapist and be like, "Guys, what's holding us back here from getting this first?" Because they have the
Well,
talent, they have the skill, they prove that dominance. If it wasn't a grand finals, they could beat any of these teams 3-0 on any day. It's just when they're put in these
well,
situations, they just can't perform.
and I keep saying it. We got a month until champs. I think 3 weeks to a month until champs between Major Four and champs. I think they'll figure it out within that time. Uh, I honestly, my thought is, I've said it before, and I know that they've said it before, but like, my thought is like, I think they're just focused on champs. I think at this point, like, I think they're going in grand finals because they seem to play a little different, and that's the reason why they lose a lot of these games. I think they're just going in grand finals and they're just trying stuff. And they're
Maybe,
just like, let's see what we can get away
maybe.
with. Let's see what works. And they're just trial and erroring stuff. Like, it would not surprise me whatsoever if they've trialed and errored this entire season, but then they're like, hey, why don't we give the fans like a little bit of hope going into champs and lock in at Major Four, and then they just dominate Major Four. It would not surprise me.
No, I can see that happening for sure. Yeah, I
Part
could
of
see
me
that.
feels like because they are so good outside of best of sevens that that's what I feel like they're doing. I feel like they're going into these best of sevens and they're playing it almost like a scrim. They're like, okay, let's try something here. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like whatever, we got second.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be it could be like multiple different things because I genuinely don't know what they're doing and I don't know how they're gonna fix it and I don't know what they're doing to make things better. So I'm confused. I think the world's confused. I think they're
I just want to see
confused.
them win. That's the problem. Like
Yeah.
if we have a process episode at the after champs is over and like assuming they win champs and whatnot, and they straight up tell us like, yeah, we were just trying stuff at the majors. Like we were just screwing around trying to figure out what we could do to get better before champs. Then I'd be like, okay, fine. But like right now, it's tough because like I just want to see them win, and like
Hmm.
with how dominant they are, they easily could have won like at least three of the
You
at
would
least three
think.
of the
You would
events
think.
anyway.
Or maybe they're just like trying new things because they want to, like, because I think they talked about in one of the processes that she did anyway, saying how, you don't really lose as much from the wins as you do from the losses. So maybe they're like trying these different things to learn from them and
That's
in
what
these
I'm saying
grand
because they
final
got a whole
situation,
best of
because
seven. Like
these are
theoretically,
like,
a grand finals best of seven is the best practice you can get.
well, because
Like
the thing is you're not going to learn anything from playing Cloud9. Like that's an easy stomp out. Like a lot of these teams, it's not going to be a good team to like play against and try these new things and learn from.
yeah,
But against the best other team out of the bracket in the grand finals, like that would be the team to learn from because they're the
yeah,
second best team or best team at the moment that weekend. So that actually is a good plausible theory as to what they're
I
doing.
mean, my thing is like if we hear stuff going into if they whether they win Major Four or not, if we hear stuff going into champs, if we hear stories of like similar to what happened last year where like they went like 30-1 on Skyline and they beat a team like 250-6 or something like that. Like if we hear stories like that going into champs, I'm gonna be like, okay, they locked in, it's over. Like, we don't got to worry about it.
Yeah. Um. So it's gonna be interesting. We'll definitely have to keep our eyes peeled and kind of see what's going on. Um. So yeah. So I kind of want to move into our next topic. I'm gonna insert a topic than what we originally had because I think it's really important to talk about and really cool to talk about. Because we saw it last year for the first time, we're seeing it again this year. Kai Sinat's Streamer University is back this summer, and applications are open. Um, I think that this is. I'm gonna let this video play in the background. If you guys haven't watched this announcement video, go watch it. It's actually really, really good. And it's a great watch and listen. It's beneficial to hear what they're actually saying. But so last year we saw Streamer University. Let me try again. Last year we saw Streamer University for the first time, where all these people came together, and Kai, made this team of creators to help these smaller creators learn how to do this full time and do this as a job. And we saw one of two things happen. These creators capitalized off of it and are continually having a career to this day. Some of which I follow and discovered through Streamer University myself. And then there's others that kind of like fell off or maybe didn't grow the way that they wanted
Yeah.
to because they didn't take full advantage of what was there and they kind of just either kept to themselves or try to like clickbait or whatever. And
Also, wasn't there like drama and stuff that happened during this whole
oh
thing?
yeah, I
The
mean
first time they
you put
did
a
it,
bunch of
yeah.
streamers in one place, there's gonna be drama every five
See,
seconds.
that's what
They're
I'm
all
saying is like if they can do this again and they can keep the drama down and like just make this strictly like, hey, let's like learn and like grow together, then like this will be great.
well, the thing is like these people like stream like 24/7 when they're there, right? So they want to make content. They want to get clickable. They want to get
Yeah.
clickable content. They want to pull up on someone's TikTok feed and that's where the clickbaiting, like the clip farming, I guess, is what they're doing in
Yeah.
this environment, and that's where the drama comes from. Is they create this drama to have the clip farming,
Well,
and
also
to get
that
the
could be
clips.
down to the people they got too, though, because like there are obviously people on like every streaming platform that just stream to like cause drama and to be annoying, and like
Yeah,
if they clean that up and like got people that aren't gonna do that, then it may turn out way differently.
I think there was a lot of people. Um, I think there was a lot of people that were in it that I think maybe were a part of the drama, but like didn't really want to be. Um, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think it was kind of a mixed bag, but I do believe that there was a lot of them that did well. So there's actually like a whole like website called Streamer University, um, and their applications are open right now. So if you guys are a streamer and you're watching this, go apply. I mean, it never hurts to apply. You might get in, you might not. You just apply, and then you can select things, and you just enter a bunch of different stuff. Social media platform details, contacts, uploads, and cameraman. Just a bunch of different things. I mean, I might even try to apply because why not? I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to do it because I have my sisters, but you know, I can at least say I applied. So, I do like this whole like formal application thing. Last year they did like
Yeah.
videos, which honestly can kind of get messy to go through, but with applications it's a lot easier.
Well, yeah, the application system will definitely be a little bit better for you to get like candidates.
Yeah. And it's a little bit more formal, and
Should
you
help.
you know you won't miss an application with an application process like this because it's like a pretty much just a huge Excel file that you just go yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Uh,
Yeah.
so if y'all are if y'all are interested in a streamer or a content creator, well, streamer specifically, if y'all are a streamer, go check it out. Go apply. You know, the worst they can say is no.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool that they're
Sure.
doing it again, and Kai's kind of giving back to these smaller creators because, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this is kind of like what the Climb Together mantra is about, similar to the Streamer University stuff. So I think it's really cool, and I just wanted to point it out quick mid episode, just to kind of like um, get us there.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what else. What else? What else? Um, I don't really know. I don't really know anything about. I haven't really seen much about like Call of Duty's like the announcements since last week. We went so in depth last week about MW4 that I'm
Yeah.
trying
Honestly,
to
I don't
like.
even
I
know
don't
if we
even
need
know
to
if
go
we.
over that again,
I don't
dude.
even think we need to. I don't think there's
we
really much
might
for us to talk about.
we might just wait until we get like a reveal or something, or like or have a date for a reveal event or something.
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. Here's the statement that I was referring to about Streamer University. It was literally the first thing that popped up on my feed, but
Oh, okay.
it's Yana, and they were kind of talking about in whatever, like, so Yana, she was on it last year. She's one of the people I follow. Now that was I discovered through Streamer University, and she was saying that like a lot of creators didn't succeed because they didn't take full advantage of the opportunity being there. They kind of just thought that being there was gonna be um the thing that made them go
Yeah, they
viral
just
and
thought it
stay
was like,
I
oh, I'm with Kai Cenat. I'm gonna
so I
immediately
mean,
be
it's
famous.
like when you join Optic, you know what I mean, or join Phase, like you automatically get like this large. Well, used to join Phase anyway. We'll use Optic or like LA Thieves as an example, or not LA Thieves, but 100 Thieves as an example. You join those organizations and you automatically get followers because you join that organization, right? So like I think that's what they were expecting, which I'm sure that's what happened. But for them to stick
You
around,
got to keep those followers
yeah,
though.
for them to
Like
stick around, you have to engage with them. You have to build that connection with them somehow. And
you got to make sure that they don't just follow you because you're in X org.
yeah, or X whatever. They have to follow you and interact with your stuff. Because right now, I mean, with the way the algorithm works, you could follow 10,000 people, right? But only actually interact with 1,000 of them and only see content from 1,000
Yeah.
of them because those 9,000 other people didn't resonate with you, or they don't post content a lot, or their content doesn't do
Yeah.
well because it's not good, or whatever the case may be. And so I feel like that's a really important aspect that a lot of streamers didn't take advantage of last time, but they should this time. Whether they're going back again or if they're going to be there for the first time. So just wanted to point that out while I was uh, while we were on the while that showed up right on my feed as we were ending the topic.
Yeah.
So moving on to our final topic of the day, Impulse. Play Impulse. This is a new game from the developers of Splitgate, which you know Deception and I
1047 games.
1047 games. You should know Deception and I are a huge fan of Splitgate.
Yeah, we really
So
loved Splitgate.
let's
That was a great experience.
let's see. Yeah. Official gameplay trailer. So early access is releasing June 24th, and you know I'm about to be part of that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I
going to
love
be
Splitgate.
early access on June 24th. The game, there's going to be a launch week sale that should be lower price, but it's $20 I think for early access.
Hmm.
Um, there's also going to be Steam Next Fest starts June 15th and goes from the 15th to the 22nd, and Impulse is going to be free to play during that time.
Hmm.
You're going to be able to play a demo of it or like an earlier version of it for free. Um, which is cool. It's basically like this game is like it's like a movement shooter, kind of like Titanfall, but like faster and like there's mechs. That's really cool. Um, and I I actually am like more inclined to talk about it because uh, now is the time where I can tell you that I played this game. Um, there was a playtest on Sunday, the 7th, and I played this game for about an hour. I got about 5 or 6 games in. And this game, honestly, like, if you think about like what kind of a like for some people like the disappointment of what Splitgate 2 was, this is like when you look at what Splitgate was versus what this game is, you would be like, this is what I feel like Splitgate 2 probably should have been. It's very fun. The movement is like super fast because you have like obviously like they show in the trailer like the grapples. Um, the grappling is
The
fun.
wall movement is insane too.
You have a grapple by default, like, and it just you can activate it like all the time. Like it's you have a grapple basically on command, which is fun. But there's also like the paint system, which the paint system is basically like the paint system is a in you have the grapple slot, which is basically like a tactical slot, and the paint system is almost like a lethal slot. Um, the paint system, you can see it where they have those like the bright orange and stuff on the ground. Uh, when you throw it down, it goes down in this area of effect, and it does different things. There's different paint effects. There's one that will slow you. Um, if you walk through it. There's an explosive one that'll deal explosive damage to you and like hurt you if you walk through it. But the one that I use the most and the one I had the most fun with that makes this game absolutely insane when it comes to movement is the speed paint. Um, it's the orange one that you see on the wall. You throw that down and you walk through it and you get a super burst of speed for for like a few seconds and you're just flying around the map. It's a good time. But
Trying to
yeah, I
point
mean,
at it with the camera.
when it comes to the game, like it is, I would say at least in the build that we played, which is pre-alpha, it was very similar to Splitgate, uh, the current Splitgate, as far as like gunplay and whatnot. Which it was good. Like I definitely think Splitgate's gunplay is good. It honestly was like a little better, to be honest. It felt exactly the same, but they've done while they have similar attachments on the guns as Splitgate does, they've done something different to like smooth a lot of them out. Gunplay feels a little bit better, um, and movement feels a lot better than the current Splitgate. Movement feels really fun in that game. But yeah, it's an interesting game. Um, there's also one of the fun things about this game is um, I don't remember if it's in Splitgate or not because I haven't played the new Splitgate in like forever. But there's a mode in this game called Upload that's basically a carbon copy of Uplink from COD. And with the jetpacks in this game and the grapple, you can do crazy stuff like you could in Uplink, which is really fun. I actually like when we played the playtest on Sunday. I had a person I was playing and there was an enemy that was running to the portal with the ball, and the enemy passed it to me and then killed me, and I was so confused. Like they literally threw the ball at me and it made me catch it and they killed me. I was like, what the?
Jesus Christ. That's actually that's one hell of a tactic right there. That's like, here, let me like bait you real quick. Let me just like click like let me just gaslight you into thinking that you won this, and then I'm gonna kill you instantly, which
Yeah,
is
like
pretty funny.
if you're a fan of the current Splitgate Arena Reloaded, I think you'll probably like this game. If
Yeah.
you're a fan of old Splitgate, this is basically this game feels a lot like Splitgate with a little faster movement minus the portals. Which I know a lot of people that liked a more traditional shooter but also like Splitgate, they loved when Splitgate had the no portals mode and stuff in. Yeah, it's a lot like that, I would say.
Yeah. I think I liked Splitgate for the portals personally, but I understand that it's a different mechanic that was difficult for people to use, and right now people are very like a lot of people are against that sort of thing.
I can tell you in this game, movement is the mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, movement is what you're going to be using. There's a lot of like, you see the little, like, you see like the ramps with the blue lines on them. You can use those to get a jump boost. There's also a jump paint, where if you drop it on the ground, it drops one of those that you can jump yourself off of. So there's a lot of things you can do with the movement to really bamboozle people in this game. And I also felt like, at least compared to Splitgate. Obviously, I know that with the current Splitgate Arena Reloaded, they had like a whole different vision for it. Obviously, there was like factions and whatnot, and like basically like COD specialists, and so they kind of made the maps a little differently for that. But the maps that we played in this game, I got to play like 3 different maps. They felt a lot more suited to this game than the maps in Splitgate Arena Reloaded. Um, which was fun. And like there aren't any like classes or anything in this game of characters. It's just like we had like all the weapons, and the weapons are like differentiated by color. Like the red ones are SMGs, the yellow orangish ones are ARs, the green ones are like burst rifles or semi-auto guns, you know. So they still have like cool colors and stuff to differentiate everything, and it has like a similar style to the Splitgate system, but um, it is quite a bit of a different game, to be honest, than I expected. Um, and
Yeah.
I think it should be pretty fun, to be honest. I think for people that like movement shooters, this should be a good one.
I think so too. I'm excited to I was gonna play test it, but I was scheduled to work all day, so I wasn't able to. But I'm excited to get my hands on it and try it out because me and Deception we played Splitgate like since like I've been playing since like I started playing like May or April 2021, so right before the boom of it. Um, so longtime
Yeah, and
fans
you
of
got me playing it like right before the boom of it.
yeah.
I
Well,
think I started in like
Pervy
June.
put me on. Pervy put me on. He said, "You gotta play this game, Tone." I said, "Okay, I'll listen to you." And you know him. He was like my I. He said, "Do." I said, he said, "Jump." I said, "How high?" And so I played it, and it was a great time. And then I was like, "Deception, you gotta play this game with me." And so we would grind too. Also, Zayla, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Scorpions. We've been waiting for you. Um, but yeah, I mean, this game, I'm just glad that they can. I think it's good that they're starting fresh with a new game, and not and kind of like not touching Splitgate anymore. I think Splitgate is a great game with the portals and the way that it is. I think it's just there are certain people that don't like the portal aspect of the game and aren't willing to take the time and the energy that it takes
Yeah.
to learn how to use portals. Because movement is one thing. Movement's a little bit easier to learn, I think, than portaling because with movement you're jumping, you're sliding, maybe you're grappling, but with portals you're hitting multiple buttons. There's a lot of like flicking
There's like a
and
slight bit better map control with movement too, because
yeah,
like with the portals, like stuff like the map design had to be different, like spawns had to be all different, and like this game definitely feels more like a more traditional shooter game. It's just you're moving at the speed of light sometimes.
yeah. So it's definitely I'm excited. I'm very excited, and I think if you guys want to get in on this
Yeah,
game, definitely give it a try. Deception and I will be playing it, and we'll definitely give you guys a review on a later episode of the podcast.
yeah.
So if you guys don't want to play it just yet, we'll spend the $20 and we'll play it for you, and we'll let you know how it goes. And you can either trust us or be like, wow, I don't like that at all,
Well, I
and we'll
mean, I
respect
know
you for
some
it.
people are a little weary of the devs after the catastrophe that was Splitgate 2 initially.
Yeah.
Um, and I think they were definitely like more willing to listen to the players because they like got us in for this playtest, and like obviously like I can't show any of the gameplay, but we can talk about like what we did, and it basically was
Mm.
just We got in there, and for like 10 minutes before they turned the servers on and we could play it, they talked to us about like the game and like how it works and what their vision is for it, and like it definitely like seemed like they wanted to be on the right track for this game. Um, and even after the playtest, after we played for the hour that we got to play, they brought us back in and they talked about they looked at our feedback and like talked about like what we experienced when we played, and we're talking about what their like some of their plans are to improve certain things, to maybe like look at what changes they can make based off what we were talking about. And they talked about obviously the early access and what that means, and they basically assured us that it's this is not going to be like Splitgate 2. Like I think that this game should be in early access for quite a while. I don't think they're going to launch it within the next like month or two after it goes up in early access. Um, and I think they're really going to try to like take the feedback and try to make this game really good, because I think they know that like this is their last shot to impress us.
Yeah, as a
Like if they
as a
don't do a good
company,
job
yeah,
with this game, they might be done.
yeah. So I think they're gonna do what they need to do and take the time and give us a great game. I'm excited. I'm excited.
It was fun.
Yeah. So I think that's all we've got for you guys today. I think we're gonna save some MW4 talk for a little bit later after we get some more info on what's going on, what's the deal.
Yeah, we haven't. It's kind of funny. Like I said last week, like we haven't really had like the gradual release of info. We just got that massive info dump, and the only thing that was left was like DMZ.
Yeah, which is like, we can save that for later. And I feel like when we do MW4, we kind of need to like take a whole episode to do it, because I feel like that's just like the best way to like talk about the game is just take a full
Yeah,
episode so we don't feel rushed or whatever. And so I think we're just gonna wait for more information to come out, and then we'll kind of talk about everything that we have so far, minus the initial release of information. But I think that's where we're gonna call it today. It is 5 o'clock. I know did the podcast a little later today than we usually do, but Deception had an
yeah.
appointment, so we work around, we make things happen, and we do what we gotta do. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Climb Together podcast, the very first episode with cams, 1.5 cams at least. This was an interesting experience, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let us know what you think of the cameras being added to the podcast. You can definitely see my ADHD brain at work, looking at multiple different things, looking from one monitor to the other, to like accidentally checking my phone. But I think this helped me focus a little bit more at too. Gives a better production level as well. So thank you guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys follow us on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/tonage_scorp and twitch.tv/deception276. And make sure you guys go subscribe. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tonage Scorp, where we post these for you guys to watch. So if you missed part of this episode and you want to watch the rest, we post them at 6 p.m. after 6 p.m. EST after we film the podcast live. We usually film these live 12 p.m. EST on Wednesdays. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time. Peace.